Hello and welcome to Pattern Making with Let Morris. We're back again. Wherever you are, I'm just going to welcome you and thank you for watching wherever you are, whether it's morning time, midday, afternoon, or evening. Welcome for joining. Today we're going to be carrying on with this dress that we're making the pattern for. We've already done the bodies. And we're going to be doing now today we're going to be starting on the skirt. So we've done the bodies and the sleeve in part 1, part 2, and hopefully we'll do the skirt in 3. If not, we'll break and come back again and finish it off in 4. So here we go. Come along with me and we will begin right now. So I've just got my blocks out, which we're going to be starting with. As per usual, we start with the front and the back skirt block. As I said, blocks are so important. Once you've got your block, you're ready to go to create your styles. So you've got your blocks, you've got your tools, your paper, and we're ready to go. So the first thing that we do is we're going to mark out our block. So we mark around the block, the front, and we mark around the back. We put in our darts. We decide on how long we want the skirt, and we measure down from the top and we create it. I've cut one out before, so I've got these two. This is the front and this is the back. So I've already cut out those pieces. So once we've got these, we're going to work with these, and these are our draft. So we put our blocks away and we do not cut our blocks up. We keep them safe because that's where we begin every time. So if we look at the picture that we've got here, I've got some drapes going around, a couple of drapes around the sides and gathers in the front, a few pleats on the back, drape going around there. And it's got center back seam with a open knife pleat at the back. So that is the design that we're going to be creating. So once you've got your sketch up and you know exactly what you want on your block, we're going to create those lines. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create that drape line that I want from my hip, and I'm going to take it around to my dart point, and I'm going to do another one like midway from the hip to the top of the waist, and I'm going to take it round about 1.5 inches or so from the dart. So I create those lines on, and then I can just mark them on solidly. You can curve them around with your curve if you haven't got a steady hand to do a nice curve round. You do it with your curve. So I'm going to create them also on the back. So I'm going to go from that point and I'm going to do some lines right around to there, and I'm going to take another one and I'm going to take it towards the same distance from the top like I've done the front. So around about there, I'm going to create another one round to there. So once we've created those, we're just going to get a nice smooth run with your curve, or you can curve them around with your hands. Steady hand you've got, curving and curve them right up. That goes up to the waist, and the other one goes to the bottom of the dart. So I'm going to close that dart out. I'm going to close that dart out, and that dart is going to go into this line that I've drawn here, and I'm going to open this line to get my cawl inside of that section here. So here we go. I'm going to cut along this line here. If you turn it around so we can see it that way, I'm going to go up on that line. We're doing the front section first, up to the dart, and then we're going to, let's put the back away because we need the space, and we're going to do the same thing on that line, and we're going to come around there we do not cut it off. We get a nice, follow the line round and just leave a little bit hanging there so that we can open out. So I'm going to fold on the dart. If I cut it, it makes it a little bit easier, especially if your paper is not thin. So if I cut on there and I close that dart, that line over to that line like this, like that, and I'm going to use sellotape it or prick stick it to hold it so it doesn't move about. So I'm going to put a little bit of sticky tape there and close that dart. Oops, close the dart out like that. So it's closed, and as we close the dart, you can see where we're opening up there. We're getting a space in there. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to, let's just mark a straight line on my paper so I keep that front on the straight. So if I draw a straight line there, and I'm going to move that pattern piece over there, the center front, onto that line, and you hold it down with your sellotape there and there on the paper so you can have some movement. So if I just do that here and at the bottom and hold it down so you can move about. So now the thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to swing this open so I get some opening there, and I'm going to swing it round as far as I can go with it. And as I swing that around, I'm getting that shape, and also this line is straightening up, which is the side seam. So once it gets to that shape, make sure it's not open up at that point there, it's touching. So once we get that, I'm going to mark around that. I'm going to mark like this around this shape here. Like that across there, just a little bit, because that's open up there. And once I've got that, I'm going to do the same thing on the back. So I'm going to now get my back, and I'm going to open this around here, and I don't want it to go to, just leave a little bit hanging so that we can open up. And I'm going to do the same thing on this line. I'm going to go right to my dart like that, same process, and I'm going to close. I'm going to cut on that line. It doesn't matter, you cut on any one, you can cut on that one or that one and then close it up. So I'm going to go down there like that to that point, and I'm going to close that dart over so that it opens out like that. And I'm going to stick it or sellotape it so that it doesn't move about. So I'm going to close the dart out like that. So it's closed. So it's closed out like that. And I'm going to open this one like that. And I'm going to, at the same time, I'm going to touch the hem. At the hem line, I want the two lines to meet at the bottom here like that. So that also I'm going to just stick a piece of, make a tape or prick stick and make sure the edges are meeting. So if you notice what's happening, I'm getting like it's going up and then coming down here. So that's meeting there. And then what I do now is I'm going to open this the same distance like that. Can you see them? The two pieces are on there, and I'm going to open it up till it goes straight along there almost. So I'm getting all that draping in. I've got that drape here and I've got that some drape there, so that will all drape in. So at that moment I'm going to mark around that. You can see that's broken and broken there, but don't worry, just mark it just to there, those points. We've got it to there, and once we've got that, we then finish marking the rest of our shape, we mark the center back in, and we're going to just follow the bottom the way it's shaped here, and we mark that along there because we're going to get a nice curve at the bottom. So can you see what I've done? I've opened up, closed the dart, I've opened that and opened that as far as it can go around there to that point, and then I'm going to put a little mark there, and I've done the same thing. I've opened out, closed the dart, opened out, and I've put a mark there. So, and then this is my waist, and it's broken, but I'm going to get a smooth line. So once I've done that, I can take off my draft off of this and connect up my line, get my nice curves in, and so forth. So that is the first stage. So once we've done that, I'm going to just take these bits off now that we've got. Don't worry about what's going on in here like that. We don't mark anything. These are the points that we mark around this section, which is the waist. And remember to put that mark in where the dart is closed. That's a very important mark. So we're going to see why that is. So we put those marks in. So once we've got that, we can take all these bits off. That's our draft. Don't throw them away because you come back to them if you're not sure on anything. So it's important. So we put those away, and we're going to connect up the points here, from here to here like that. So it's connected like that. And as you can see, it's broken there a bit. So what we do is we're going to just curve that around like that. You can use your curve, and then the same thing we do here where it's broken. Just get a nice curve going back into here. So we've got that notch there, we've got that notch there. And then the same thing we do with the bottom at the hem line. We just curve that line with our curve back into there, so we get a nice curve shape along there like that. So it's slightly curved. So that's the shape that we're getting. So in this section here will be our drape. So once we got that, we're now going to cut out this shape second time, and then we're going to add our gathers in there, because this is the center front and this is the center back. Okay, and we're going to put some pleats in there. We want 3 pleats, 1, 2, 3 pleats in there. Okay, so what we got to do now is cut this shape out, and you must remember that is the center front, and we just cut that shape out once we've got that. And once we've got that shape cut out, all we do is just go ahead and create the gathers on the waist and also the pleats on the back. So once we cut that out, that's the first stage. So first of all, we mark around our blocks, we cut the pieces, we put our style lines on, and then we close the dart out, and open out to get the amount that we need for draping along the side. And then we mark it out on a new piece of paper just like this. We make the shape at the bottom a nice curve round, and in the waist. So now that's the piece that we've got. So we now have to work on this piece. So I'm going to break at this point, and then we're going to come back to it and show you how to add the pleats. See you soon. Bye.